Hi, welcome to another edition of Health with Patricia, where we have honest conversations about issues affecting your health. My name is Patricia Roxanne Hammond, and today my guest again is Dr. Thomas Tago. He's a neuroscientist at the University of Ghana Medical School. Today we're talking about why sleep is important for the brain. You know, most of us would like to skip sleep in order to attend to pressing emergencies like things we need to deal with and only go for like 2 3 hours of sleep. But how is that important when it comes to the brain? And Dr. Tego is going to help us understand the importance of sleep. Doc, I'm glad to have you again on my show.
Great. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Why is sleep important to the brain?
See, if I was to pick that the most important thing you could ever do with your life is probably sleep. And you think about it, we're spending around a third of your lifetime sleep.
But people say when you sleep like for a longer period or longer hours, you're literally sleeping away your dreams. So sleep should be cut short to like 2 hours, 3 hours out of the 24 hours.
You can definitely do that. You can cut it short, and you'll be cutting short your life and your well-being and your wellness in the process. That has been shown so clearly that it's now non-negotiable.
Did you hear that? Cutting short your sleep is literally cutting short your life.
Essentially, that's what you're doing. And let me explain to you why. So, one thing now is that we don't really know why we need to sleep. Like, all the science has figured out, like, why can't the body find other ways to do what it does? But I can tell you what happens when you sleep.
Okay.
That's the end why I say if you don't, you're cutting short everything else. During your sleep period, that's 6 to 8 hours. It varies for people. Okay? Your body is essentially going through repair and maintenance.
Okay.
Repair and maintenance. It's like if you had a car and you never took the car for servicing and for repair work, and all you did was keep on driving it, will you not be reducing the lifespan of the car?
Sure. Yeah, definitely.
Right. Just like if you have a house and you never go and clean through the house and do repair work and paint again and change the lights, will you not be reducing the lifespan of the
Sure.
The same vein, during your sleep period, repair and maintenance is what's taking place in the brain and the rest of the body. So if you're cutting short on that, you're essentially cutting short on how long the body can keep going for.
We have people saying they can only sleep for 4 hours. What is the average number of hours that people are supposed to sleep?
Okay, so that changes over the lifespan.
Okay, sure.
For babies, as we know, they should be sleeping like 12, 16 hours. They sleep more than half the day. Once you get into adulthood, it's roughly between 6 to 8. It's what's normally advised. And for most people, it'll be very natural. Like if you wanted to know, take a weekend. When it's evening time and you feel sleepy, go to bed, don't set an alarm, nothing like that, and wake up when you wake up. And that will be like, if it was up to your body, that will be how long you would choose to sleep for.
Okay, sure.
If you do it any less than that, especially maybe during the weekdays, you're getting home late, you're ready for work, then you realize that you are shortchanging yourself on sleep.
That's serious. What about people like, as I said, others can only do 4 hours, others can even do 3 hours, others even go through insomnia.
Yeah.
Others also need sleeping tablets. How does all of these help the brain?
Okay, so if you happen to need medication to sleep, that's probably not a good sign. That means that's a problem. Of course, as for how that problem can be managed, we require a lot of history takings, if I understand.
Okay.
But here's what I would say. There are some people who genuinely can only sleep 4 hours. Ask them to also try the same thing. Take away the stresses, take away the demands, take away the I need to put the children to bed, I need to wake up and prepare breakfast, I need to wake up and
the screen time.
The screen, thank you. Take away requirements and go to bed. How long will you actually sleep? Right? Then do that for a few days, and that will let you know if you're really someone who only sleeps for 4 hours, or it just happens that the demands of life have made it such that you are only sleeping for 4 hours. The number of hours of sleep, so if you were to have an average person sleeping your body goes through what we call sleep cycles.
Okay.
And it will need to sort of, let's say, do stage 1, stage 2, 3, 4, 5, finish that, and then come back and do stage 1 again. And your average person will go through about 2 or 3 of these cycles in a night of sleep. And each cycle is typically lasting 3 to 5 hours. Thereabouts. So you can see how then your minimum sleep will end up between that 4 hours. Interestingly, if you complete one cycle and you wake up, you sort of feel okay. Right? If you are in the middle of cycle number 2 and you wake up, you feel a bit groggy, like you haven't slept, which is why it can happen that one day you sleep 4 hours and feel fine, but then you sleep 5.5 hours and you don't feel fine.
Yeah.
Even though it's like more.
Yeah.
So these cycles I need to go through to sleep.
Okay, sure. So there are people who say when they take afternoon nap for maybe like 1 or 2 hours, they're unable to sleep in the night.
Yeah.
Is it like the sleep pattern that has been like you've distorted it?
Yeah.
Because you're not supposed to be sleeping in the day, you're supposed to be sleeping in the night.
In some sense, you're perfectly right. So what you have is that think about our need to sleep. Think of it like it's something that builds up, okay? And when it keeps on building up and it reaches a certain level, then you start feeling sleepy. So if you sleep during the day, that build up builds.
Okay.
And when you wake, it now needs to build up again. So for people who are very sensitive like that, it's because the body hasn't reached that level of building up this need for sleep, which then to feel much bit. So you'd find it difficult to do this. But then again, we have others who, as long as you turn off lights and you put them in the bed, no matter how many hours they've slept beforehand, they'd still be able to go ahead and sleep.
Okay.
And of course, it becomes important because during that sleep period, all the weariness that have been built up during the day is reduced. All the waste products that have been gathering in your brain during that period gets removed. All toxins and things are cleared up. More importantly, memory. Memory is what we say is consolidated when you sleep. It's like a stored and backed up. So think about all the events of the day. All that is backed up and stored so that you can pick up the following day and continue. So we believe even sometimes that's why we dream. Because we are dreaming, going through.
Yeah, things in your subconscious that are coming back. Yeah.
Going through it, like creating a backup copy and storing things and so on. That's why that then becomes important. So one thing I normally tell students and was, for example, when you have an exam coming up, you don't play with sleep because that sleep process is needed to store the things that you learned.
But at the end of the day, you need to pass, so you need to do well. So you realize that you have to shut down the sleep to make sure you cover all the areas, just so you can make it to the exam.
And that's how you end up in the hall and you're like, oh, I read this. I can't remember it. And you stuck there and you know it. And you know it's there. You can't pull it up because you didn't give yourself the time to sleep, to store it properly so that it can be clean. So in that sense, yeah, you're doing yourself a disservice.
Okay. We have people who, like, when it's time for them to go to bed, they'll be on their phones. They'll have to be on the screen for a very long time before they go to bed. How does that affect their memory and concentration?
Wonderful. So the kind of light you expose yourself to. So remember we said this build-up of what's needed to make sleep. Okay. The lights from our phone, or normally called blue light, is very bad at helping this build-up. It can actually reduce it. So in other words, it makes it difficult. So in other words, it makes it difficult to fall asleep. Now, if it's making it difficult to fall asleep, then it means all the processes that need to take place during sleep, the stage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, that hasn't happened well. So then memory becomes a problem, cognition becomes a problem. And I think many of us will also then recognize is that when you are sleepy, you are not a nice person. You're a little bit more irritable. Because even that sleep is needed to regulate your mood.
Okay, sure.
Now, if you're not sleeping already, your memory is a problem, and now you are irritable and
frustrated at the little thing.
You're just frustrated at little things, and everything just.
I think this affects women a lot.
It does.
Because women, especially those with children, they get, I don't know whether they do not get enough sleep, but they wake up and they are so angry. Like the less thing irritates them.
Yep. So sleep, which one I tell you, you don't play with sleep because even like how you respond to your children, actually, they can be played around with sleep. If you had a restful night and you wake up, the kids can do what they want and you're okay. You're just very able to manage the stress response.
Okay.
But without sleep as well, managing the stress response even becomes problematic.
Hey, that's hard.
Yes, sleep. Sleep. Nothing like no sleep. No. Sleep. Demand your 6 to 8 hours every night.
Sure. Thank you very much, Doc. Please, your final words to the viewers.
Yeah, so sleep is like outside. It's like having a cleaner come in the house to be able to clean and keep everything. This is why your body needs sleep. If you don't sleep, you may be able to think you can function well for a while, but the deficits will come back. And just one last thing for you to think about. Many studies have shown that as we get older, people who slept more and have better mental health in their old age as compared to people who did not sleep as much. So you do not want to wait to be 70 and suffer from some mental dysfunction, all because between your 20s and 30s you did not sleep. Thank you.
Yeah, that's been my guest, Dr. Thomas Tego. He's a neuroscientist at the University of Ghana Medical School. The show has been Health with Patricia, with me, Patricia Roxanne Hammond. I believe you've learned a lot. Please sleep, sleep. Sleep is very important. Please sleep. Try and get your 6 to 8 hours of sleep, regardless. Until the same time, stay blessed.